October the 29th, 2016. I'm Dana, your host, the nuclear proctologist.org. And you can find these videos and Fukushima presentations throughout the entire friggin' internet. Not that the internet's a frigger. Starting off the language. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for finding the time. Jan is on the move again. Miss Milky the Clown 1. Hi, Jan. And we got Elaine, our moderator, and one of the biggest supporters on the planet of getting rid of nuke. Hi, Biddy. Hi, everybody. Illusion, Shani. And I know nobody was expecting a stream, so hyper. And don't feel bad. If you didn't make the live stream, it's okay. It's all right. 2 Danas is better than none. And we're back. We're rocking. Let's wind it down and get into a stream. Worn out and busted and broken. And this whole planet is in desperation for somebody to make a stand. And that's also, I guess, that's the responsibility of those in the know. And those in the know that when I talk and when I say things, these are not conjectures. These are not opinions, even though that's an opinion. Now, this non-nuclear governor was elected recently. This headlines came out today. But some interesting stuff going on here. And have the lessons of Fukushima been learned and led to appropriate countermeasures? But as you go down, you see they're talking about the NRA in the middle sentence is the reincarnation of Nuclear Industrial Safety Agency, NISA. So the NRA is the reincarnation of NISA, which lost all credibility following post-Fukushima meltdown. Revelations of slipshod oversight, Atlas to Homer Simpsons of NISA are now constitute the majority of the NRA employees, undermining the credibility of the new nuclear watchdog. Well, calling him Homer Simpson is doing your own kind of undermining, you know? I'm not complaining. You'll find a link below to the video. It's a scathing smashdown. So this top paragraph, there will be a slew of goober national elections in 2017 will focus on nuclear energy, an issue where the Liberal Democratic Party is vulnerable. And they're talking about the left, right, middle, far left, far right, extreme left, extreme right of the Liberal Democratic Party. It's vulnerable because it won't walk away from nuclear. It won't even try. And look at that last sentence in the first paragraph. The Liberal Democratic Party owns the Fukushima disaster and thus the shambolic cleanup and slipshod and just disorganized and well, they're sending in homeless and destitute and immigrants, the victims of society, yeah? That's it. That's what they're sending in there. I figured out how to do this now, have I? Ooh. Okay, I got that one pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Nothing to it. This is Unit 3 behind me. Think about that. There's another shot of Unit 3. Where are you going to plug power in? What difference does it make if you were able to get into the control rooms or not? Right? If you were, like, say you were able to get into the nuclear main control room at the power, not at that reactor, but somewhere else on the facility, did it matter if you flipped the switch? Would it matter, to flip a switch somewhere else? Do you think that flicking a switch is going to turn something on in that building? I got to bend over to get today. Just let that one go, because otherwise everybody will be all over me. You can't say bend over around here, trust me. So what was the sense? How are you going to hook power up to it? Where are you going to turn power on? What makes you think that the wires are connected to anything? What makes you think anything can come on? Because this is the fables you've been fed now nonstop. Where are you going to put? Where are you going to run an extension cord into that? Well, you didn't. You ran in with a helicopter, then you ran away, just like Chernobyl, yeah? Like, when we say these places blew up, that's exactly what we're saying. It blew up. It blew up, man. It blew up, and it blew up, and it blew up. Look at it. Think about this one. Or this one. Do you think you can go in and throw a coat of paint on something? Do you think you can go and plug a few wires and bring in the Fukushima 50s and patch up a friggin' hole? Do you got any idea? This is not like a factory blown up. This is not like a hotel blown up. This is not like your supermarket blown up. This is a catastrophic event on its own, just a single building. You take 1 million gallons a minute. Does that look like 1 million gallons a minute they're trying to throw on top of that? Do you think you can pump out 1 million gallons a minute like this? The sacrifices, there's over 300 police officers died. These are victims you're looking at here right now. They would have suffered dramatic doses from the radiation. So will anybody doing something like that? Like 400 kilometers of the coastline ripped to pieces. 400 kilometers full of nuclear power plants and holding sites and waste sites and temporary storage sites. The carnage is undeniable. The devastation for the tsunami and the earthquake was highly visible. But radiation is invisible. It permeates in your body just like water does when you get a shower, and it's through that same venue, through that same vector. This is salt water they're picking up. That's game over. The minute that they threw salt water on the reactors, you couldn't be any more desperate. It's like pissing on a forest fire. It's so you can have a picture and say, oh, they threw water on it. I think they might have got some in the pool. And they done that in the media, and we know that, and we heard that, and we played those clips. Where are you going to plug power in if you had been able to get back in there? How are you going to get close enough to that when you're talking about X-rays and neutrons and gamma shine? Your suits are not going to protect you. These suits you see them people wearing, they're not going to protect you. If you're anywhere close to that, for sure. 30 million bags picked up through the country. 30 million. So 5,000 homeless people, most of these will have vicious autoimmune deficiencies before the cancer shows up. If you're lucky enough to live that long, if that's what you call lucky. They've lost everything to the tsunami. And the tsunami is pretty visible. You can see, right? So did he. So did they. And so did everybody else. Now, if there was a nuclear waste holding site in that area, and it probably was, throughout that whole 400-kilometer area, do you think the nuclear holding sites were able to sustain that? When you look at that kind of damage, when you're looking at this is not maybe there's, a little bit got out, Dana. No. The reactor cores are completely gone out of the entire building. No nuclear is right. That's Unit 3 and then Unit 3 and 4. There's Unit 3 behind me. There's Unit 4 over here. That pump truck is missing, by the way, and there's no way to run hoses into something that don't exist. You can't hook a pump back up to that. It's gone. Everything is gone. They're playing a game. Not a game, but they're playing a life and death struggle with you. They're keeping you in the dark for just a little bit longer until it's too late. They're sending in the homeless. Do you understand those words? Homeless. Do you understand the significance of it? Not Yale, but homeless. Not Harvard, but destitute. Not Stanford, but the victims of society. Not Oxford, but the marginalized. Not MIT, but the immigrants who don't speak the language. Do you think that little truck is going to put in 1 million gallons a minute into the reactor core? There's 5 reactor cores in the building. Will you people wake up? Will you fight for your own life, let alone fight for the rest of this planet? What does that look like to you? Where's the reactor core? Where's the 5 reactor cores were stored up high in the building? Oh, Danny, you're just a kooky YouTuber. No, I'm not. Danny, you don't know what you're talking about? Yes, I do. Danny, there's nothing we can do? Yes, there is. When did we give up? If you were on the road and the car was coming at you blowing the fucking horn, would you get out of the way or would you stay there? I don't want this job, okay? How can we trust a journalist? How can we trust the media? How can we ever trust a scientist again? My cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. I don't say somebody's going to put, oh, he's smoking cigarettes, you can't trust him. Anything to chip away at me, anything to try to discredit me, anything to marginalize me and attack me and vilify me, anything. But talk about the actual issue. Talk about the things that we actually done. There's people out there saying I didn't do the whole coastline. I didn't do any of the coastline. That I sat here in the house and faked a couple of 100,000 pictures and all the underwater footage. Anybody who believes that, you're literally can't be helped. No one can help you. Anybody can go look at my site and think that somehow it's an unbelievable insult that somebody could think that way. That just people on the planet could be that stupid and that gullible. But I guess you're grasping at straws because you're incompetent. The people that are doing that, they're incapable. They're dysfunctional in every sense. There's 1 million gallons a minute right there. No, it's not. Helen Caldicott doesn't come out and say that they faked the interior of that building. How come? Arnie Gunnarsson doesn't come out and say he faked the interior of that building. How come? Christopher Busby doesn't come out and say he faked the interior of that building. Why not? How hard would it be for Gunnarsson or Caldicott or the big names out there? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, how hard is it for anybody to come out and say, that's fake, that doesn't exist in that building over there? That these 2 fuel pools here are not in the number 4. How hard is it for somebody else to do that besides me? How fucking hard is it to come out and say that RT's picture up there is not an accurate depiction of the building over there? Something. How hard would it be for media to come out and say the buildings look like that? How hard would it be for Helen Caldicott or Arnie Gunnarsson, Christopher Busby, or any of the people out there claiming to be anti-nuclear, including anti-nuclear, and nuclear matters and all this other stuff out there, that they can't come out and say that Seth Dorn is not inside of this building? That is somehow beyond my scope. See that red truck in the top of this building here? That red truck is missing. I can show you many photos of it missing, but I'm not going to right now, but it's missing. Before they took the fuel out. But Seth Dorn is over there saying that he's inside of number 4, inside the building behind me. How hard would it be for somebody to come out, including journalists or anybody else, and say that that is not so, and put an end to that? Not very hard, would it? And would it be effective? Yeah. If Arnie Gunnarsson come out and said that Seth Dorn is faking it, I wouldn't have to be here every day. If Helen Collicott was to come out and say that that was fucking fake, I wouldn't have to be here every day. If Busby was to make a fucking stand and come out and say that that is fake. Simple as that. No more to it than that. We wouldn't have to fight like we got to fight. See the buildings here? I put them there. But this is motherboard telling you, here's RT showing you a beautiful fuel pole, and I got the pictures here showing you what it actually looks like. It's not my job. CBC News showing you a beautiful fuel pole inside of a building that don't exist. BBC done it to you. Dana, you're a bad person, Dana. World Nuclear News showed you a beautiful intact building inside the picture I put over there. And I put that picture over there, and I put that picture alongside of me. But that's the official pictures, both of them. How did I become the bad person? How did I become the guy that attacked? How did I become the person to hate? How did I become the person to vilify? How did I become the person not to trust? How the fuck did we get here? I show you nothing but documentation. I show you nothing but the evidence. The whole fucking coastline is naked. I show you that. No matter what I show you, it's not true, Dana. Arnie didn't say it. Kellicott didn't say it. Let alone the media. Therefore, Dana's a kooky conspiracy for saying that that building is not inside that one over there. But hey, you say gullible, sounds like oranges. I think most people out there are fucking heartless and soulless. The red is where all the people died. The yellow are the people that are missing. That's 400 kilometers of coastline. You know what he died? He died because of that picture over there. Yeah? You know where all the power plants are in that 400 kilometers? They're over in that picture. Figure it out yourself. I'm fucking tired of telling you. I'm tired of showing you. The media and the scientists and the academics and the pro-nuclear who don't give a fuck about anything on the planet, who couldn't care less about their own loved ones and their friends and their families, as long as they get a paycheck and pretend they're important. Pretend they're special. They're special, all right. There'll be special criminal courts in the near future. But how is it that somebody who done the entire coastline is the worst person on the planet? How is it somebody that went out and spent 260 days, 15,000 miles, documented it, put it all up on the website, nobody has ever been able to debunk it, is the bad guy, is the demon, is evil? For doing what? For doing the academic's job? For doing the media's job? Somehow I'm fucking bad for going out and saying, hey, everything's missing, by the way, that's what it's supposed to look like? Oh, Dana, you faked it. It never looked like that, Dana. Because it's easier to say that and believe the truth. It's easier to say that and look at the evidence. It's easier to say that than be a normal human being. It's easier to say that and go back to your insignificant, irrelevant, mindless, idiotic life than it is to make a stand for yourself, your friends, your family, your community, and 8 million species on the planet. Much easier to ignore it all, do nothing, and just live in your self-gratification little tiny paradigm that you think you are trendy. And then watch people like me, the only one like me, that ever done anything like this ever in the history of human, in the history of the entire human species. Nobody like me has ever existed that come out and showed beyond any shadow of a doubt a massive cover-up. Year after year, nonstop on the one subject. Endless documentation, endless information, endless. And then all the big shots are out there. Oh, no, they got the fuel at a number 4. And then where does that leave us? That leaves us as shitheads. That leaves us as losers. That makes us, apparently, the worst people on the planet. Certainly makes me the worst person on the planet for going out and taking those pictures of before and then comparing them to the same spot after. These are authentic pictures. You got a couple of algae left on the rocks here behind me, but that's what it used to look like over there. And you think it's coming back? You think it doesn't matter? You think it's not going to affect you? You think it's not an issue? You think because you're not a fisherman or you don't live alongside the ocean or that you do live alongside the ocean that life will go on? You think that we're not in the last stages of an extinction event when everything else has already died off, except for 20 parts per million of the other species? There's 4 million species missing out of the Pacific Ocean. There's 700 algae missing right there. That whole shoreline should be magnificent. Every millimeter, every square millimeter is thriving, jostling with life. You can ignore it all you want out there in the media. You can ignore it all you want, you scientists. You can ignore it all you want, but you can't. The rest of the planet can't. The rest of the planet won't. The rest of the planet has no options but to go to battle. And who are they going to go to battle against? They're going to have to go to battle against you because you won't make a stand. They're going to single you out because you won't open your fucking pie holes. They're going to come after you because you kept your mouth shut and you put out talking about bananas and potato chips and walking in the sunshine, and that's all people are going to find about you. That's your whole histories. Do you think you can really get away from what's coming? Do you think this is an extinction event like this is not somehow going to come back and people are going to come looking for you like I done and everybody else now is doing? You think that's not going to get unbearable in the very near future when your friends and your families and your loved ones find out what kind of fucking snake oil salespeople you are? That's men and women in the nuclear industry. Anybody in the nuclear industry, by definition, is batshit crazy. Anybody in the nuclear industry. You literally got to be fucking stupid to not to know what's going on. You can't be gullible. You got to be fucking stupid. There's a big difference. $7,000 chemicals in your cigarette, and you still trust your government, eh? Yeah, you're not gullible. You're not fucking naive. You're not a loser, are you? Well, I'm not. You can be all you want. We're still going to fight for you. You don't deserve it, but we're going to fight for you. Because we're all in the same friggin' boat, whether we like it or not. Same place. One has nothing, and the other one has everything. Go anywhere you want, get something to eat. Go there now, literally starve to death. You can dig down and get a few clams, but you're going to fucking die from eating it in about 20 years if that's all you ever ate. It's going to get you. You can't avoid it. Once it goes in your body, it sequesters in your muscles, your organs, your bones. I'm pretty sure the majority of the people on the planet are intelligent people if they actually had some way of getting educated. Anybody can snap out of that matrix. Anybody can escape that paradigm. Just turn your freaking TV off and do some real research. If you're going looking for news, you watch CNN or Fox News or MSNBC or CBC. If you listen to these creatures, these are conjectures. They're full of educated people that lie to you constantly. Constantly. We've been taken over. We've lost the planet already anyway. Our government is PR firms. Our media is a PR firm. And all of our universities are PR firms. And the people that work there are the most demented, twisted people on the planet. That's how they got the job. They don't give a fuck about anything, including themselves. They really don't care about themselves. They live in this little fantasy where they think it's okay to come out and lie about an extinction event. You think that's okay if that was your friend, your husband or your wife or your son or your daughter or your brother or your aunt, your uncle or your cousin? You think that was okay when they told you that? Oh, we're out lying about it. Yeah, no, it's all gone, man. But hey, there's a few people out there with a bit of resistance. We got all kinds of PR firms wrecking their reputation, constantly demonizing them. They're not going to get anywhere. What would you say to yourself? They showed you pictures like that and say, yeah, Dana knows. Dana went out there and looked and showed it, but we fucked him, man. We got him destroyed. Nobody's going to believe him. People are too stupid. They're too fucking incompetent to even live their own lives. Those people, academics and scientists and journalists, the people, we rely upon. That tells us it's like a banana. It's like walking in the sunshine. It's like getting on an airplane. And they hide everything away from you. I don't hide away from you. Ever. Under any circumstances. For anybody. You blew up, who cares? That's okay, Dana, they had containment. You're literally too stupid to be alive. You people, I don't know how you tie your own fucking shoes in the morning. I really don't. See, Arnie Gunnarsson, average person in Seattle breathed in 10 hot particles a day. That's, well, why? How about if you breathe in 10 hot particles a day, why not come out and say that these are fake billings? That's why you don't understand. Simple as that. I wouldn't be here every day that I am. Neither would everybody else here right now. You wouldn't have to fight to have a conversation with your neighbors or your friends or your families or your loved ones. You're only doing that because of monsters. These monsters that are out there telling everybody it's like a banana and a potato chip and walking in the sunshine. These are monsters. There's no other word for it. In our time, these people are, these things that look like people are anyway. "400 kilometers of the coastline where people died don't mean nothing, right? That don't mean nothing until you do it. 400 kilometers of the coastline, that's why people died and people are missing. Look at the numbers. You think they fell down and hurt themselves and bled out or something? No, they were ripped apart like a wood chipper. They claim damage at Unit 2. That's Unit 1. That's Unit 3 in comparison to Unit 2. This is Unit 4. Does that make any sense? Perfectly intact building inside of a perfectly destroyed building. And we can't get anybody out there to mention it, only Dana Durnford. That's it. It's just me, baby. I'm the only one who thinks that's wrong. No, I'm not frustrated. No, I'm not drove crazy. No, I'm not friggin' losing my mind. I've been driven this way. I've been tortured to this point. I've been victimized relentlessly, even by people I trust, because they're too stupid to look at the pictures, too stupid to work it out on their own. They can't even try. People can't look at these two pictures and work it out on their own. They can't go and do it. Media can't do it. Scientists can't do it. Yeah, they can, but they won't. That's what the buildings look like, though. The reactor core is in the center. And there is no center. There is no reactor core. And the fuel pools are up top. There is no top. And there is no top, yeah? That's 12 reactor cores in those two buildings. Chernobyl was one. But everybody's so busy being a nobody, being an idiot, sitting there watching their football and hockey, soccer, or whatever it is that they console themselves with every day for being stupid. Okay to be stupid. I wish I was. Wish I didn't know anything I know, trust me. Just let the cancer show up in the next few years and kill me off. That's a pretty good deal. That was a real good deal. Do you think these fallout maps, this is a Canadian one, do you think these fallout maps don't mean nothing? You think the Norwegian Institute for Air Research, and their plume is only based up on the releases that they allegedly did, like, think about, there's your release. That's the release. That's the release, right? How are you going to plug something in and fix that? It takes 1 million gallons a minute to keep it cool anyway. It's all gone, like I showed you in those depictions. But how? How can you look at that and look at stuff like this, look at stuff like that, look at stuff like that, but not think this is real? Not be able to wrap your mind around the plume that never stopped coming out of there. Never stopped coming out. Still coming out. This is why we got 30 million one-ton bags. Bumper to bumper, 5 rows of traffic around the planet, and that you've got to walk on the bumpers to get between the vehicles because they're touching each other. You won't be able to drive across the road because you have 5 lanes of traffic, bumper to bumper, from 4 buildings. Yeah, but the plume is not real, Dana. All of Canada should be like that behind me. All of America should be like that behind me. We got the numbers. Thousands of headlines that I cover, but nobody's talking about it consistently. It's just these different headlines showing up, these different stories that I aggregated that tell the story, don't they? You got all kinds of studies, but they're only talking about, and they're only talking about a couple of days releases from a single reactor. They're not talking about 6 reactor cores per building missing, like I showed you. I'm back and forth between scientists, stupid people, which is scientists and academics, and then the people that are trying to wrap their mind around it, and then the people that won't wrap their mind around it because they think that sports is somehow they're fucking important. You know all about Gaddafi. You know all about Prince William getting married. You know everything about Osama bin Laden, all the stories that came out about it. They know about the Arab Springs. They know about the English riots. They know about Kim Jong-il dying. But these were all 2011, but they don't know nothing about Fukushima. No, they had a tsunami. We had 20 million particles of radioactive iodine-131 per liter. Germany was packing it up at 5, not 20,000 when it happened. And France was packaging it up at 17, not 20,000. And that iodine-131 is just a tracer. 10 times more 132. 30 times more 133 iodine for every iodine-131 would have been in that same liter. There would have been 31 times more iodine-129, but iodine-132, 133, in particular will ionize and radiate your thyroid glands 9 times more effective than 131. But it would have been in that liter. But that's just a tracer. The reactors don't run on iodine, they run on uranium, 235, but they would have produced all the daughters. And they run on plutonium, which is a fissionable product, which is man-made, and its parent daughter is a gas. So it's easy, it's highly mobile. And it's easy to lose the inventory. Now, this came from, a lot of this was from reactor 3, which was mixed oxide fuel. Reactor 3 was using reclaimed uranium, reclaimed plutonium from old missiles, old nuclear warheads, 30, 40, 50 or 60-year-old warheads. Has already gone through a chain reaction. Is already 2 million times worse than what it was originally. And now was using a chain reaction again. But what you ended up doing, these are not your normal ionizing, radiating 131 at all. They're similar to it, but they're much more powerful. Canada busted covering up spikes in Fukushima radiation. Canada busted covering up spikes. Washington blog. The URAD project showed the 137 is 100 times more strontium-90. And they're probably, that forecast is based upon, that you're looking at, the model is right across the Pacific, right across North America, but that's just a couple of days. If the model stayed true, if the model was to use all the reactors that melted down, 6 reactors per building, you couldn't see planet Earth. And so, yeah, we had a big event. We can't turn our back on it. We got to do things. We got to stop the reactors. We got to come up with mitigation. We got to come up with solutions. We got to come up with cures. We got to come up with technology. And if we put the same people that put us in this boat in that position, we'll end up with the same result where nothing will ever happen. If I didn't go do the coastline, do you think they would have done the coastline? If I didn't go out and do the coastline and post that up at the nuclear proctologist, all of it, 90-odd% of it anyway, for sure is up already. 260 days of the coastline, up to 2,000 pictures a day. Do you think some other agency would have went out and done that? Do you think some agencies out there right now saying, thank God Dana went out there and done the whole coastline? Do you think I was wrong to go do the coastline? Do you think I'm a bad person for documenting the whole coastline? For trying to find out what is going on? Because so many people act that way. I begin to wonder. 300 times more radiation released into the atmosphere, but they want to set up 400 more incinerators. Right? A German company wants to go down there and burn Fukushima trees and then debris after. Highly radiated stuff and just liberate it back into the environment. And in their story, they say radiation can't be destroyed, but the detritus, the microscopic organisms inside, the microscopic world, will turn to ash. But they say detritus, that's what they're talking about though. So in a single sentence, they say radiation can't be destroyed, therefore it's liberated into the environment, but the ash is full of the detritus, which is the bacteria. And that everything on the planet is dependent upon that bacteria. That was Bloomberg. I covered it a couple of days ago, yeah? In a short couple of minute video. They've been burning it nonstop. Even if you didn't have the nuclear chain reaction going on in all these reactors and the connotations from that, they're burning it all throughout the country in the incinerators. They've given up and become beyond stupid. It's beyond stupid to do something like that. It's unprecedented. You couldn't do it anywhere else on the planet. We wouldn't put up with it. But Japan enacted all kinds of laws so nobody can even question it. Japan has gone crazy, like I showed you at the beginning, that their prime minister has done everything to make it worse, that their government has done everything to make sure they destroyed any legacy of Japan. Japan will cease to exist in the future. You got 13,646 children out of less than 40,000 with thyroid tumors in 2012. 860,000 cancers increase in 2012 from any other previous year. Extras. But the thyroid, 13,646 at less than 40,000 is normally under 3 in a million. Not 13,646 out of a million. That would have been horrible. That would be catastrophic. 13,646 people at less than 40,000. It's unconscionable. It's unthinkable. And our legacy is going to be to ignore, let them suffer. Our legacy is going to be don't speak out for the voiceless. Don't speak out because the industry will come after you and destroy you. Because they don't want you to speak out about it and talk about it. Because you're a corporation, and a corporation now is entitled to kill the planet, and nobody's allowed to call them on it. No one's allowed to come out with a descending opinion. Not that mine are opinions. Mine are factual only. And every video is full of these facts. Period. There's no getting around it. You can hate me all you want. You created me. I'm not like this by nature. You have created the person in front of you by doing what you've done to me and everybody else. I exist because I couldn't sit there and take it anymore. I have read comments and stories about this long before I showed up in the capacity that I am. And I couldn't sit here anymore and take it. I couldn't. I couldn't sit there and read all those heartbreaking comments and all these stories and videos of people begging for someone to go to do something, anything. For goodness sake, can somebody out there? And here I am parroting those same emotions that drove me to do the things I'm doing. Because I knew I could do it. And I knew I had a thick skin. And I knew I couldn't be put down. I knew I wouldn't back down. I knew that it took someone that had to commit. And so we had to see the whole coastline before we could do that. But once we seen that whole coastline and seen an extinction event, and we couldn't find an oasis anywhere, what was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to bury my head and forget? Go watch sports and pretend that it didn't happen? The more you vilify me, the stronger I become. The more you attack me, the more resolve I have. The more you victimize me, the more I understand that desperation. The more confident I become. That if not me, then who? And that if I'm not chosen for the job, why did I show up here? Why was I the guy? How did I fit into this? How did I manage to show up here? Because I have a conscience. And I have a moral obligation. And that I'm a Canadian, and I'm privileged. I have that ability. And that I don't have to hide away from anybody on the planet. They hide 10,000 of these dumps away from the population. Not that population, but from the world. Doesn't understand it. They call it 30 million tons. They don't say 30 million one-ton bags. From communities, from gardens, from sidewalks, from schoolyards. The absorbed doses of 132 was 10 times higher than 131. But that's the ratio. And iodine 132 is 9 times more effective, same as 133. That's ionizing and radiating your thyroid glands compared to 131. Nuclear power plants must close before they close us. France got 19 closed. 19. And they got another 12 on the chopping block. Because they know. But the demons in Russia and the demons in Canada, the uranium mines, uranium stockholders, the hospitals that are killing our loved ones with chemotherapy, radiation, 97% of our loved ones die before they would have without the chemo. And they're guaranteed to die if you take chemo. You're guaranteed. Yeah, some people live for a couple of extra years. And there might be a couple of people that'll live. But they probably didn't even have cancer originally. They were diagnosed and told they had cancer. And we've seen up to 6,000 women misdiagnosed with breast cancer. It's not like it doesn't happen. But that industry is heartless. When you go to the hospital, you're done. You don't know it, but you're done. It destroys all your cells and your chromosomes and your DNA at the same time. It strips the hair from your body because you killed all the cells in your body in the hopes you got every single cancer cell. But 70 years of killing animals, and 70 years of killing animals, 35 years with Gilmed, but the company he works for, Loveless Respiratory Research, has been around for 67 years. He's got 94 studies himself. Every animal died in every study. 144 dogs. Every animal died in every study. Nobody survived. Same as the hospitals. Same as, 6 times more breast cancer around nuclear power plants. Up to 90% more leukemias for children, killer leukemias. But that's not what you should be looking for. You should be looking for Alzheimer's and dementia and autism, and diabetes, and heart, and liver, and lung, and respiratory, and pituitary, and adrenaline. 1,800. They didn't just get tumors. They had all kinds of autoimmune deficiencies before the tumor showed up. They had all kinds of illnesses and diseases before the tumor showed up because the radiation in your body, but these animals were only given a single dose. They weren't eating it and breathing it and living in it like Japan is doing, like Canadians are doing, like Americans are doing. That billing is not inside that billing. See, how hard was that? How hard is that to do? Is that hard? Oh, Dana, man, yeah. It must have took a lot out of you, Dana, to get up there and say that. No, it didn't. But their whole fable is dependent upon you not understanding that. Not understanding that can't exist inside of that. That was a distraction. And they had lots of help. TEPCO come out with beautiful pictures and sort of a destroyed building. And here's the pictures I put there. World Nuclear News come out and lied to you. I showed you a beautiful building inside of a building over there that I put there. I put these 2 pictures here, but this is BBC. That's CBC. I put these 2 pictures here, but they show you a beautiful fuel pool. But I am the bad person. I'm the demon. You can't trust Dana. Can't believe anything Dana said because Dana won't show you that picture over there and tell you it's inside of that building up there. I think today's video was about me defending myself, I suppose. Not that I lose faith. I don't know how to. Not that I've got to give up. I'm incapable. It's not that I'm some kind of bad fucking person. Because I can do shit like that. If I can do shit like that, that means I'm a bad person. I work so hard to tell the story. I must be a bad person. I work so relentlessly to learn how to do all of this so that I can come out in a format that you might be able to understand, that you might be able to give me a few seconds so that you can have an opportunity the same as everybody else on the planet. So you have that opportunity to make decisions based upon the reality, not upon the fable. And you might not appreciate it now, but you will in the future. You might hate me now, but you won't in the future. You hate me because you don't understand. You hate me because you've read the nonsense and believed the lies from people that hide away. You don't have anybody out there that'll tell you the truth. That is not like a banana. It's not like a potato chip. It's not like walking in the sunshine. It's not like getting on an airplane. It's not like a dental x-ray. It's not like a chest x-ray. So why are they telling you that for 70 years? Once again, if I don't show you a picture when I'm talking, I must be a fucking lawyer, right? I don't bring up the evidence immediately. Oh, Dana's a lawyer. He didn't show us the evidence immediately. Anybody else can talk all day and I show you nothing. I have to work like a dog, like a fucking dog, to come out here and tell you a story. I have to work like a dog to come out here and try to have a conversation. Show you all the documentation as I'm talking. Not good enough, Dana. You're not pretty enough, Dana. You don't smile enough, Dana. You smoke cigarettes, Dana. You swear sometimes, Dana. They don't, therefore they're better. Listen to yourself sometime. Listen to what your friends say about you sometimes. Your friends won't tell you you're stupid because they're your friends. So ask them. It's not too late to change. We ain't got no choice. At some point you will. Why not now? Why not come on board the winning team? Because Dana's crazy today, because he's angry today, because he's upset today, because he's freaking out today, because he's yelling today. Because I have to struggle to do anything. I have to struggle to raise $100. Well, all of these people can have millions to come out and lie to you, but I can't even get people to organize enough to everybody donate $1 a month so I can stay in fucking business and get the equipment I need to be successful. I have to struggle for every millimeter, struggle for every inch. I have to fight for it, and I have to lose something for that, for every inch I gain. To lose my soul, to give up everything in my life, to fight for this whole planet, and the planet won't back me. Because people are fucking stupid. People are crazy. People would rather die and perish than put up a fight. People would rather have home invaders come in their house and rape all their loved ones. They won't fucking fight back. They're so passive. They're so ninian. Including our government. There's some good people out there, I'm sure. There has to be. You can't all be bad. There has to be some wealthy people out there who can support me, but they won't. Not that I didn't get the support. When I was on the ocean, I did. I still have in many contexts. I'm just saying the burden was put on a handful of people. The burden was put up on a small handful of people to fund this operation, wasn't it? Did they deserve that? Do those people deserve to have to do something like that? They done it because they knew they had to do it. They didn't do it because they wanted to do it, or they didn't have something better to do with their friggin' money. They done it because they knew it was the moral and ethical thing. But it's just a handful. But look what we pulled off, the whole coastline. But the sacrifices all around are astronomical to get us this far. Do I give up? Do I walk away? Do I like, okay, I done my part? My part never ends. It will never end. Even after I'm long gone, my part will never end. But my part until then will always be the checks and balances. To make sure everybody is being honest, that is speaking out. And to call them on it. And to leave nobody beyond reproach. Include myself. I got flaws, man, like everybody else. But I am me. I don't come here and try to pretend I'm somebody else. I don't come here and pretend that I'm something special at all, ever. I'm just me. What you get is what you got. What you get is what I am. What you hear, what you see every day when you watch my stuff, that's actually me in my real life. What you see here today, that's me in my real life. And everybody knows me, has no issues with me like that. They know that's me. They know that's how things got done. They know it's there that I'm like that because of what happened or whatever happened. They know I'm not like it because I want to be. They know I'm like it because they would be exactly like that too if they were in my position. And they can't begrudge me for it. Don't want the job, but I took it. And I'd be damned if I'm going to be quitting when I've never quitted in my life. I'll be damned if I'll be quitting anytime in the near future or in the far future. I don't quit things. If I'm here for keeps. I'm fighting for the other 8 million species. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here with conjectures. I'm here with facts. And why sometimes I'm not the best, most times I'm pretty good. Once again, hi everybody. Thank you, Elaine. I hope you the same thing too, honey. You're the best we got on top of that, sweetie. Don't think you're not. And Jan Brooks, who doesn't stop. And Amthers. And Neil. And CJ. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Gabriel. Don't worry, be happy. Yeah. Hi, Ellie. A little cranky today, Dana. Yeah. Well, we got a lecture tomorrow night here in town. Everybody will probably attack me and burn me at a stake, set me on fire, and they've already basically done that to me. And we'll post a video. They'll let us in for sure this time. And they will post a video up here on my website, The Beautiful Girl by Dana. And we'll put a link over at the Nuclear Proctologist so people can find it. And, you know, like I haven't stopped. Stuart. Did I say hi to everybody there? Illusion. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good day, everybody. Nuts for Art. We done Lonnie's show on Friday. Hi, Lonnie, which is The Age of Fission. You'll find links below. And same thing with your Jan Brooks site, Miss Milky the Clown 1. Really important site, folks. The only person scream over there is me. Jan puts up my videos sometimes. Thank you, everyone. Hugs for everybody. Don't worry about Dana in the context of hi button, face, 7. Everybody, I'm just coming in to say good night, good day to everybody. Good morning, Shani. Griffin. Hi, Shani. Hi, Stetson. Hi, everybody. Everybody's like, Dana, why don't you put yourself in the video when you're doing that? I don't think about it. I just want to make sure I say hi and hugs for everybody before we give it up today. Nathan. See, I'm finding names. Candace. Aqua Charms. Yeah, go into your settings and find the music, free music on YouTube. And put in Evil Street. You'll find the song that we used at the beginning. Now we're at the end. Kim Kardashian bum Stetson. I got no idea what that comment was. I'm not going to try to figure it out. Hugs for everybody. Thank you, everybody. I'm so worried that I can't continue to do the things I'm doing. I'm so frightened to death that we don't get a chance or an opportunity to have a conversation. I'm terrified that there's two of me in the same video. But I'm truly mortified that I didn't get the support that I desperately needed. And hopefully these lectures, I'll be able to raise enough money. I will at some point. Anyway, I know that. At some point, the documentary will finally be out there, and that'll fill in the gaps. And hopefully that'll, who knows, that might be a game changer. But I'm not going to count on anything. The only game changer I'm going to count on is that I'm going to be better every single time that I show up. And that every day I strive to accomplish something. And that I don't know how not to. I don't know why I wouldn't. I don't know how I couldn't. And why would I? Okay, folks, I'll let you all go. 1 hour. That was tough, that hour. I'm enraged that everything you've done hasn't paid off better in awakening. I'm enraged that academics and media and people in the know haven't been able to have the courage to use their voice, because that is all it takes. And I'm dismayed that I made this video today and showed that side of me, that desperation. Because I don't want to come across and drive people away. But sometimes the screaming demons push me to a point where I have to blow off some steam. I don't want to, I have to. Hugs, everybody. We'll see everybody hopefully Monday. We'll be back to normal. Take care, folks.